Shalom, shalom. First off, foremost, I must give all honor, praises, glory, and respect to our Heavenly Father and His only begotten Son, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakadash. The way Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, forgive me the spirit through this lesson, I must give double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone for the mighty work that they do. And also a mighty shalom to the whole like watching out there. Shalom. It's brother and I come back to another quick lesson from GMS Camp Gary, Indiana. And on the road to heaven, we must go through hell. Okay? We must suffer, go through that suffering, like Yahweh Shai did for us, so that we can be redeemed, so we can have that redemption and salvation. Okay? That opportunity to repentance. Okay? That grace and the mercy from Yahweh. He had to suffer and he had to be a sacrifice. Okay, giving up his life through his blood for us, the Israelites, the Hebrew Israelites, the so-called blacks, so-called Spanish, so-called Native Americans. So we have to be a living sacrifice as well, holy and acceptable unto Yahweh. Okay, by giving up our lives, our worldly lives, by turning back, being born again in the spirit, and serving Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai with truth and sincerity. Okay? And that's our ticket. Okay? Because the election, they have the golden ticket. All right? They have first class seats. Okay? To enter into the kingdom of heaven. All right? Now the rest of the Israelites, they're going to have, coach seats entering into the kingdom of heaven with the everlasting shame, because they decided, hey, you know what, I'm not going to suffer now. They want to suffer then, right? Instead of suffering now for Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. Okay? And that's what it is. All right? We can cry now and smile later, but they want to smile now in filthiness and cry later. Okay, but it's still gonna. We're all gonna have the tears of joy. Okay, getting out of this wicked society ran by Esau, that dirty dang devil. Okay, and we're gonna have bliss in the kingdom of heaven. Okay, but on this side around, the election are gonna go through that fire. Okay, so we can be purged. All right, and that's the path that we have to take. That's the path of righteousness that we're gonna go through. Okay, the furnace of affliction. All right, to afflict our flesh. All right, so we can be changed. Okay, into better people, ultimately. Okay, it's the book of Zechariah, chapter 13, and straight to the point, verse 9. And I will bring the third part. That's the election. Okay, that's standard. All right, the remnant. Okay, the only ones who are gonna turn back to Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai and serve Him. Okay, through the fire. All right, we're gonna go through the fire. Okay, that purging process. All right, it's gonna be hot. All right, it's hot in the kitchen, but we gotta stay in it. Okay, we're gonna be sweating. We're gonna be hurting. Okay, but we're gonna get through it, right? Because it says, and will refine them as silver is refined. That's right. We're gonna be refined. Okay, refreshed, revamped, refurbished. Okay, and we'll try them as gold is tried. We're gonna be tried. Okay, we're gonna go through it. All right, trials and tribulations. All right, it's gonna happen. There is no way around it. You can't say, "Oh, I'm just gonna take it easy. I'm gonna try to avoid all problems." It's not gonna happen. Okay, because this thing called Jacob's trouble, and all Israel's going through that. Okay, and the whole world is going to be tried with the mark of the beast. Okay, because we see this dang devil is coming down with great wrath right now, and he going and the way it's looking, it's starting with Chi-Town, my hometown, Chi-Town. Okay, it's going down. All right, just did a video the other day called Showdown in Chi-Town. Okay, and it looks like that's going to be the catalyst. Okay, the beginning of the end, right? Okay, that's where they're gonna start, the starting point. Okay, and these niggas not playing. They're bringing ICE, National Guard, and federal troops. And in the video, we call it Operation Midway something. I can't remember the last word. Operation Midway something. Some retarded crap they thought of. That was a terrible name. Normally they come up with some creative name, but that was dumb. Okay, it started with an S or something. I can't remember at the moment. But hey, y'all, you look it up. Y'all figure it out, right? But anywho, you know what I'm saying? Um, yeah, these niggas ain't playing. Okay, and they coming through. And also bring federal agents as well, FBI, all that, the Department of War. Okay, and then don't forget about the blackout. Can't forget about that catastrophic event. All right, that comprehensive cyber attack. Okay, don't forget about pestilence, lockdowns. All right, forced vaccinations. It's in the big beautiful bill. We can't forget these things. Okay, and that's on the road to the mark of the beast. All right, but on the road to heaven, this is what we're gonna have to go through. There ain't no getting around it. All right, so the best thing to do is build yourself up now so you can get through it. All right, because you're not gonna be able to make it without having faith. All right, without being strong. Let's say, be strong in the Lord and all His might. Excuse me. So, what do you think that means? You can't be weak. So it's best to be built up through your sufferings now. So then when these times arise, we'll be able to conquer. It'll be a piece of cake. Not gonna be that easy, of course. It's still gonna be challenging, right? Because I said we're gonna be tried. All right, we're gonna be put to the ultimate test. But in order to pass, we gotta be built up now. Okay, in the spirit. Continue on. Zechariah 13 in the middle of 9. They shall call on my name, and I will hear them. That's right. The Lord said we're going to call on them, right? The name of the Lord is a strong tower. The righteous run to it, and it's safe. So that's what we man. Yahweh Shem Yahushai, right? Until we die, okay? And I will say, it is my people. He going to say, hey, I recognize them. That was my people. Okay, they're the only, that's my standard. Okay, and they shall say, the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushai is my power. And that's what we gonna say, right? We're gonna say, call Allah Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Okay, by Hashem Rakakadash. All right, and that's what's gonna get us through. All right, and we believe that, and we know that, because why? Because He showed us. He showed us His works, the miracles. Okay, in all our lives. Every brother, we've seen some miracles. We can contest, right? We just, hey, just don't lie. All right, don't lie. Even though before you even walked in this truth, the Lord has kept you. Okay, showed you those miracles. Say, dang, you know what? How did I get out of that situation? How did I get through that? Because Yahweh Shem Yahushai, before he even knew his true name, right? Absolutely. Okay? Without further ado. Right? Like I said, in order to get to heaven, we gotta go through hell. Okay? But there's some people that's not going to have that salvation. Alright, so this is why, because they're not being born again. You know? ultimately we will be saved, but they're not gonna have that salvation um, without experiencing them nukes, okay? That hellfire, okay? Yahweh Shai saying, "Depart from me," and blasting them. Okay, they're gonna have to go through that first. All right, they're just not gonna walk in the kingdom of heaven having these traits. And I'm about to read. This is the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 6, starting at verse 9. Know ye not that the unrighteous shall not inherit the kingdom of Yahweh? Right. They ain't gonna be able to get in like that, thinking they can do anything they do, and anything they want to do, thinking they can be anything they want to be. Talking about, I'm a man, I could be a woman. I can love on other people, animals, niggas on niggas, hoes on hoes. No, it don't work like that. Okay? Absolutely not. Right? And it also says, be not deceived. Don't be deceived by that. Esau said you can do what thou wilt. Don't be deceived by this nigga. He's lying to you. You can't do what thou wilt. Okay? You can't be a sinner. Alright? Because the Lord said he hates the sinners. Right? Neither fornicators. Right? You can't be lusting after other gods spiritually. Right? Serving other gods. Alright? Being a whoremonger. Okay? Nor idolaters. Can't be idolizing everything, especially this money. You gotta serve either Yahweh or Mammon. Okay? You can't be both. You can't be, oh, I'm all about that bag. Get your money. Get your money. Right? Putting other people, these celebrities as idols. Even yourself. Right? Worshiping yourself. Right? No, we got to worship Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Nor adulterers. That's physically and spiritually. You can't be sleeping with other people's wives, man. Okay? She has a husband, leave her alone. And you can't be worshiping other gods. Going a whoring. Like I said before. It's all in one. Nor effeminate. You can't be no fallacious. Okay, I almost said it. I ain't trying to add them, that'd be my third strike. I don't want that, right? Because, they some pussies, But you can't be soft like that, weak, man, right? Nor abusers of themselves with mankind, man. You can't be abusing yourself, man. Self-mutilation, all right? That woe is me crap, okay? Trying to commit suicide, okay? And or like possibly even bestiality, things like that, okay? Getting all these tattoos, all right, putting piercings all on your face and all that crap. All right, that's the man. We supposed to what was it say? Slack, I forgot. But we supposed to keep our body. Dang, I forgot. Slack it. I'm running out of time. That's why but I gotta hurry up. Verse 10: Nor thieves, nor covetous, nor drunkards. Okay, that's spiritually and physically. Okay. Nor revilers, nor extortioners shall inherit the kingdom of Yahweh. All right, you can't possess any of these traits, and there's more in a different book that says a little bit more to that. You can't be this. Okay, haughty, truce breakers, all that stuff, right? He's not going to inherit the kingdom of Yahweh, on this side. It's not going to happen. Verse 11: And such were some of you, right? We used to be these things. This used to be us. Right? The elect. But what? We've been born again. We've been changed. Right? Reestablished. But ye are washed. Right? We are washed